Hello, it's Anna from Atlas. Let me show you how to create a spatial join in Atlas mind-blowingly fast and easy. All you need is an Atlas account and to create a new project. I have here this dataset of flooding risk zones somewhere in Norway, and what we want to do now is to understand what buildings in this area are in the different flooding zones. So this dataset is divided into 20-meter flooding zone, 50-meter and 100-meter flooding zone from this river. So let's bring some buildings from this area. So what you need to do is to go to the right side panel and then importing data from Overture Maps. So let's bring buildings in. So it takes the buildings from these map bounds where we are right now. All right, and then we have the buildings, and what we can do now is we go to vector operations and we find that spatial join. It's here on the bottom, and we choose first to switch the datasets. We choose the buildings that we join then with the flooding risk, and we can use intersect. You have also these other join types, but I think intersect is quite all right here. Then we can run the operation and we get this new dataset. We can hide the old buildings dataset, but we're still not going to be happy only with this one either. Now what we can do is we open the data table of this, because what a spatial join basically does, it combines the two datasets of what we just joined in the operation. So it is the flooding risk area and the buildings. So right now we can see quite a lot of emptiness here. So that's all these buildings that are not in the flooding zone. So what we want to do is we can filter based on the distance, so that we take everything that is more than 1. For example, it can be also more than 1 because the lowest number in distance we have is 20, right? It just needs to be something in between of 0 and 20 and then we're good. So let's do this, and right now we can see that we have only 20, 50 and 100 meters of distance, and the label is basically the same one. Now we can choose to take all of these. So it's here on the left side in the upper column here, or in the upper panel, we can choose all the rows, and then we can go here into the toolbar and copy them into a new layer. So then we have very simply just all the buildings that are somehow connected into the flooding risk zone, and they have their own data set though, so that's super nice and easy. Then we can go and style this. So right now we have already the styling panel open, but just to repeat myself, you can click this layer and you open it, or you can go to the 3 dots and styling, and then we can look into the fill and we can choose to style by field instead, and we can take the distance again, and then we can choose, we can zoom in a bit closer so we see what we're editing. We can choose different colors, whatever we like, that describe nicely the different flooding zones. So then we can also increase the fill into 100 so that we see best possible what we are working with here. Maybe one of these colors is a bit too light. We can go and edit that one, do something else. Okay, maybe that's a bit too close. Maybe that's a bit too close as well. Maybe green is the sweet spot here. And then we can maybe remove the outline completely so we only see these buildings. And then what we can do is to go to labels and we can add text. So we can choose the label that we have here in the data table as well. So the different meters of how far or close it is to the flooding, or the river actually. So maybe we can make it a tiny bit smaller, but now it's nice when we zoom in, we just see to what area does the building belong to. So like this is how you create a spatial join in Atlas super fast and super easy.